What's up, Grixis family? It's Teddy, aka JamesKisau on MTGO, coming back for another donation bonus league. This one comes from IRS, Innistrad Revenue Service, and it is Yorion Grixis Control. So we're getting two Grixis Control videos this week since Friday is always Grixis Control, or three if you're on the Patreon. Check out the Patreon. Monday, I always upload a Grixis Control league there. And this is not even the first time I've played Yorion Grixis on the channel, or the second time. I think it's the third time, since my buddy Leo, shout out Leo, was a big cultivator of Yorion Grixis and has a lot of success with the deck. And I've played that on the channel before. IRS recently trophied with this list, which is super cool. And also MTG Goldfish considered it Grixis Control. So it's really cool to see these different decks fall under that umbrella because it's hard to fight for that meta share. But we've been doing a great job. Keep up the good work, everyone. And what I like about this deck is that it has a lot of structural similarities to my 60 card version. The biggest difference, I think, would be the 4 Prismatic Vistas in the mana base. Since you're playing 80 cards, you just need more lands. And the mana base is so compact and complete in Grixis Control, it's hard to really balloon that out without adding like off-color blue fetches like Misty Rainforest and stuff, but I think Prismatic Vista does a great job. A huge part of our progression is about getting basic lands, since it insulates us from Wasteland, Blood Moon, all the beautiful stability of Grixis Control mana base, and I anticipate Prismatic Vista just helping us along those lines. So I'm excited to see how that goes. I haven't played with Vista in a long time. And what else are we doing with those 20 extra slots you get? Well, in general, the deck is just grindier, since Yorion being a companion, at any point during the game, you can just pay 3 mana and get a card that's blue for Force of Will. It's kind of insane. And it's a card that comes in and flickers any number of non-land permanents you control. So that synergizes super well with creatures with Enter the Battlefield effects, which is like Baleful Strix, Orcish Bowmasters, Snapcaster Mage. A lot of the Grixis Control family synergizes really great with Yorion. Going from there, I also love the 3 Cling to Dust. 2 just feels like the perfect number in the 60 card version, so if we're increasing our deck size by a third, adding a third Cling to Dust makes perfect sense to me. Beyond there, there's also something that's going a little deeper in the draw denial part of Grixis Control, whereas in the 60 card version, I only have 1 Narset and 4 Bowmasters these days. We got 2 more Narsets and 2 Hull Breachers. And to go all in on that package, we also have a couple Days Undoings. This is a combo that you see a lot in blue-white X kind of miracles adjacent decks. But Days Undoing, it's essentially Time Twister, but it ends the turn if it's your turn. 2 and a blue, each player shuffles their hand and graveyard into their library and draws 7 cards. If you have that out with Narset, your opponent draws 1 most of the time and you draw 7, which is pretty insane. Bowmasters doesn't do anything since ending the turn also removes all the triggers from the stack. Hull Breacher, you get 7 treasures along with your opponent getting no cards in hand. It's a really cool effect, and I'm excited to have that kind of angle in a Grixis Control deck, since I'm sure longtime viewers of the channel will know that usually you're fighting pretty hard for your wins, and having something so powerful to do that also synergizes with the main core game plan that Grixis Control has cultivated is pretty exciting to me. Other interesting slots, we have Prismari Command. It's kind of like Kolaghan's Command. It has 2 very important modes of Kolaghan's Command of destroy target artifact and deal 2 damage to any target, but it also has target player creates a treasure token, kind of the only version of ramp that Grixis Control can really accommodate. That and Fable the Mirror Breaker, but I think Prismari Command works a little better since it is a blue card for Force of Will purposes, and also it has a Faithless Looting on it. Target player draws 2 cards and discards 2 cards. Also very good if you have a Narset out or a Hull Breacher or something like that. This can be turned on the offensive, which is pretty cool. And then there's Dak Faden, a very powerful Planeswalker. I think that's great in the 1 slot since it can be pretty situational and it's difficult to generate actual card advantage with Dak Faden until you get up to the -6. And then you also need cards that target cards, which is sometimes hard to come by. Lightning Bolt and Fatal Push should do the job most of the time, though. I think if you have a Dak Faden emblem, though, you're probably in good shape. Over in the sideboard, we're pretty specialized to fight certain stuff, like 4 Consigned to Memories, 2 Price of Progress, and a Blood Moon are all fighting big mana decks, and they also come in pretty random places that are pretty helpful, like Show and Tell, I Love Consign, Oops All Spells, it can come in handy, and then 4 Pyroblasts. You don't want any red blasts when you're playing Dak Faden, since the emblem can turn Pyroblast into a pretty potent spell. Same with Hydroblast. You want that over Blue Elemental Blast here. And then 2 Surgical Extractions. So yeah, that's about it. The only feedback I have at the outset is that I'm a little concerned that there's not like a Force of Negation or just some supplemental kind of force effect in an 80 card deck. It can make you a little softer to really fast combo decks. And that's something I love about 60 card Grixis control, that we can hang with the turn 0 or turn 1 decks. But, hopefully we'll just win a lot of die rolls, stuff like that. We also have 2 Surgical Extractions, which can sometimes act as free interaction for the super fast decks and keep you in the game. Yeah, I think that's about it. This list did trophy, as I previously mentioned, so there's a lot of credentials behind it, and I'm really excited to play it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. This is Yorion Grixis Control from IRS. Let's jump in there. All right, everyone. Welcome to the league. Just disclaimer, this is take 2. I tried recording one video for this league. Maybe it will come out someday. I'm not sure. But the whole time I feel like I was just kind of lost and not really approaching the deck with the right mindset. I was thinking about it too much like my 60 card version, whereas this deck is actually quite a bit different. You can't so easily look for your outs in an 80 card deck. So instead, I'm going to Binhole Breacher. I'm going to look at things a little differently, try and approach things like a Yorion player a little more. Opponent took a mulligan. It might be Blue-Black Reanimator over there. Okay, Ponder's not bad. I don't really want to get basic Swamp off this, but I feel like Cling to Dust is one of our better finds. Let's just Ponder. I think God tier would be I find a land and Cling to Dust but don't have to use it. It's not what happened. Let's definitely take Scalding Tarn and then see if we want that basic Swamp, or that Prismatic Vista as well, which will likely become a basic Swamp. Wasteland, yeah, I think we'll take it. So yeah, I'm definitely thinking this is probably Blue-Black Reanimator. And now I think it's pretty likely we're going to consult the star charts in absence of anything else. They have another Rainforest Island. Oh, Preordain? Okay, now I'm starting to think this is probably like a Quarry Steel Cutter Delver deck. That seems a little more likely to me. Are they going to stifle me now? Okay, sure. I guess I'll draw that Raucous Theater. And I'll play it. The second basic island is sure interesting. And again, I think I'm going to say no to Hull Breacher. I think Narset's just better. And if not that, I feel like I'll need another land. Ooh, I probably should have fetched before they untapped. They have another Wasteland. Things are getting a little out of control, and now it looks like they have Murktide Regent. Have this Edict. I hope it resolves. They have 4 cards in hand. Yep, okay. We're going for it. If that fails, I do have some time to, just make a couple more land drops. Snap Edict. Stuff like that. Yeah, this is pretty classic. Okay, so instead of showing me the island they picked up, they're going to play another Misty Rainforest and Brainstorm, so that makes sense. Daze showing off its capacity for card advantage pretty well. Now they'll Ponder, probably just looking for more ways to protect this Murktide Regent, and they shuffle. Could this be our chance? Land was a good draw. Ponder first, though. Maybe slamming Narset was better. Honestly, I'm not sure. Baragwayf could be good. I don't think I'll have time to race, though. Especially not when they could have things like Brazen Borrower and stuff like that. Yeah, I'll just shuffle. Alright. It's pretty sketch out here. Again, hit for 5. So at least they don't have another Murktide, because you do that pre-combat. Put a bunch of counters on it. They're representing Counterspell. Toxic Deluge. This is what I've got. Okay. Good to know about Tameo. Yep, got tempoed out by 2 Wastelands and a Stifle. It happens. It happens. 4 Pyroblasts. Love that. And that's it. Well, let's cut pretty much every red card, I think. Because I think they'll bring in Hydroblast. We showed them red lands at least. And I don't find Dak Faden or 3-drops in general to be that great in this deck. Or against this deck. I don't think Thoughtseize is that great either. Just run it like that. I think you do need to keep all your forces all the time. You know what? Kolaghan's Command is pretty good. It's better than Thoughtseize. And it's an instant. Maybe Prismari Command's pretty good too. Well, maybe I want one Thoughtseize. Trim a Days Undoing. Like, the Days Undoing combo seems very difficult to leverage against tempo, because you're likely to be behind on board. Okay, mulligan that. Sure. I think this will be hella good. And I think I'm going to play around Stifle and Wasteland and just fetch a basic mountain on turn 1 and put away this Brazen Barber. And like, I do see the irony in limiting the effectiveness of Hydroblast while also having a plan that revolves around Pyroblast. But that's a very even trade. In fact, if you even like line up the artwork against each other, you'll see the symmetry. They kept 7, so I'm at a pretty big disadvantage, though Yorion could catch me up. Alright, mess with that. Delver. Classic. I'm gonna bolt right now before they can untap. Mono blue Delver decks usually have stuff like Spell Pierce, Flusterstorm, the aforementioned Hydroblast I've been talking about so much. Praying they don't play Counterbalance. Oh, Jesus Christ. Hard life. I guess I'll just put Yorion in hand. Although, regrettably, the deck will have 5-drops in it because of Force of Will. At the very least, I unmulliganed myself. And they don't currently have any pressure on board. Okay, they kind of have pressure. They don't have an additional land, though. Or they're sandbagging like a Wasteland. Oh, Narset, that's really good. I don't think they're going to have 3-drops. And also, this will be a good way to see if there's even a 1-drop on top. Yeah, they don't even bother. Stern Dismissal. Oh, man. It's so good if this resolves. I'm going to take a chance. Oh god, I can't watch. Okay, we did it. Cowabunga, dude. Let's take Force. I want to stay away from 1-drops. And if I can protect Narset, it's pretty much like invalidating this Tameo. I mean, Tameo is like okay into Narset, regrettably, since they can just draw cards on my turn, but it could be worse. Wasteland, so we know they still have that Misty Rainforest. Lorien revealed. Okay, activate Narset. Cling to Dust is very good at testing. Go ahead and Island Cycle that. They do not Stifle. Just gonna keep getting basics. I want a lot of mana. They'll draw a card. Yep. There's the Rainforest. We knew about that. Something's happening. It appears to be Murktide at 4/4. So Yorion can beat that. I was probably supposed to Force a Will. Yeah, what am I doing? I have a counterbalance. Decline. Oh jeez. Now this would be good if I had all the mana in the world. I could like make sure to counter the counterbalance trigger. Bowmasters is good. And then I can test with Ponder. Okay, the coast is clear. Put Ponder in my hand to pitch to Force. And then I'll just snap Red Blast this Murktide. Something they could do is cast Brainstorm to put a 1-drop on top. And they did have a Brainstorm in hand, but maybe not an additional 1-drop. It's very tempting to go after the counterbalance, but keeping Narset's too important. Alright, we knew that was coming. They also might have Mystic Sanctuary in this deck. if a tempo deck could afford such a thing. And that could put Force of Will on top, while normally not being very good in this position. It would really mess up my Yorion. So let's just sit back. And we cast Bowmasters here. Oh my god, with the blind flip. Yep. They don't want to draw the days though. So that means they won't have a daze for next turn. So I can swoop in and probably take Tamiyo out. They put a card on top. It's not daze, I don't think. Play Nimble Obstructionist. Last time they didn't even bother because I don't think they have 3 drops. It's turn Scolding. Alright, cool. Oh, man. I wonder if that's what they topped? It's really hard to say. Cast Yorion. Oh, hold on. Attack first. Then, yeah, cast Yorion here. Another land on top for them. They'll probably shuffle that away. Now, it's a little risky to flicker Narset here, but it is a lot of card advantage for me. They have a small window to draw some cards, but I get even more. I think we do it. I also just have the biggest creature right now. Like, they could activate both clues right now, but they don't do it. Alright, target Bolt. Bolt, Tamiyo. There's a Rainforest on top of their deck right now. Huh. That was strange. Fairy Mastermind. They shuffle anyways. Maybe they're concealing information. Wasteland. Edict. That's tough. I think I'm going to take Teachings. It's far less likely to get countered. Then I'll just smash with both. Alright, they're at 4. Turns out, Counterbalance is a lot less scary when the deck is also not a red deck. They'll draw. I guess I'll Edict right now. Man. I mean, they did hit the days blind flip on the Bowmasters, but other than that, Counterbalance was not too kind to them there. But a lot of that just comes from not indulging it by playing 1-drops, unless it's Cling to Dust, and then it feels like okay, I guess. I don't think I'd change anything here. Definitely want plenty of lands. Alright, time for game 3. On the draw, we have the combo and a Pyroblast, which is really all I could ask for. Having Edict also seems pretty important. There's just a lot of cards that could potentially not be as impactful that we could stumble across if I mulligan, so I think I'm all but obligated to keep this hand. Like if I mulligan and get like a hand that's like Narset, Consult the Star Charts, you know. This one just seems like it has a chance. I'm trying to dodge Delver here, I think. The early pressure is what would make this hard. Although if they do play Delver, I wouldn't have to worry about Stifle, which I currently am worrying about. But it's very bad for a tempo deck to not spend their mana, especially on turn 1. So in some ways, we have one. Do I just need them to Stifle? I think it depends if I hit a land or not. I don't. Alright, cast Ponder, I guess. Okay, that's pretty good. I'll do everything in my power to not activate this fetch land. So far, so good. No Wasteland is great. Binning a Delta. This deck might have a lot of lands in it, or they're just not running super well. Tamiyo. I feel like they're trying to get me with a Stifle. Play Bowmasters. Force Pitch Fairy Mastermind. So if their last 2 cards are Daze and Stifle exactly, well, that would be bad. Well, let's call them on the Stifle first. No? Okay. Well, that's a relief. Red Blaster, Force of Will. I've activated their trap card. Don't be fluster. Oh! Well, hold on, actually. This is fine, unless their last card is Daze, like I said, because you can't fluster Bowmasters. So yes, that happens. And now I will force your force and hope you don't have Daze. Beautiful. Thumbs up all around. Dicks out for Harambe and all that. They still definitely make the clue though. Preordain. Bottom. Nice to see that happen. Murktide's a little more rough. We gotta find a way through this. I have the Edict. Okay, yeah, I think that's just what we're doing. Feels far more safe. And then, yeah, I'll just play around Stifle, I guess. Smash for 3. I could have Edicted as well, but I don't know. I'm kind of saving that for when this Murktide inevitably comes back. It will be back. Counterbalance. No! You! At least I'm kind of ahead on board. I'll be pretty super ahead on board if I resolve this Narset and it doesn't get countered by Counterbalance. But they wouldn't even flip to 3-drops last game, so we'll see. Yeah, they don't have any 3-drops. We're in there. And I guess I'm taking, yeah, definitely Kaito. No bones about it. Stuff that dodges the stack, you know. Stuff like that. I just like things that dodge the stack. I'm probably not the only one. I know I talk about it kind of a lot. I guess it doesn't like dodge the stack, but it is good at playing around counter magic. They're drawing Stern Dismissal. I think that's fine. It gives me a reason to ninjutsu this army token away. No Stifle. They'll draw. I get my army back. I know they have a Stern Dismissal in hand and the mana to cast it here. They could bounce Bowmasters and try and lock it out with Counterbalance, but that doesn't solve Narset. They'll still have a cantrip problem. Yeah, bouncing the army kind of makes sense, I guess, even though you just gave it to me. But you're also moving through your deck. Alright, Surveil 2. Yeah, I think we'll go top in this order, and that way we'll know Narset will not miss, but I also don't have to reveal I have a Pyroblast. Take Toxic Deluge for sure. We saw how good 3-drops are in the matchup. And I shan't forget about Yorion. By this point, I think they must want to block a little bit. They can play a potentially 5/5 Murktide if they have another Surveil land, and they happen to hit an instant or sorcery. Ooh, that's good. Maybe. It might still get countered by Counterbalance if they flip like Daze or something. We can just do this the slow way. I can flash in Brazen Borrower. Accrue some card advantage along the way. Make a land drop. Bin the Brainstorm. It all seems pretty good. I'm not going to put Yorion in hand, because then they could Daze Brazen Borrower. I kind of just want to finish the game. And now I can probably pretty easily overrun them as well. But they do kind of have a lot of cards in hand. They're going up to 5 after the draw step. It's not paltry. Going to 1. You draw, you lose. Okay, yeah. If they cast Murktide there, they're still getting overrun. Cool. I was a little nervous after game 1. I was like, are we too spread out as a strategy to really focus in and beat a tempo deck? Luckily, if we had to fight a tempo deck, I think Mono Blue would be the one, since we don't have to worry about the pressure of red, the subterfuge of black, the resources of green, and there aren't many white tempo decks. Well, I guess there's Boros Energy and stuff like that. Those are tempo adjacent. Alright, starting off pretty good here. Alright, it's time for a Yorion showdown against Karaz, who's a much more talented Yorion player than I. Usually plays like Esper Yorion, so it's going to be a real showdown. And there's no forgiveness for mulliganing since we're both technically up our cards. I'm going to prioritize finding a third land over a second Baleful Strix, which I feel like I've been doing quite a bit recently. And this doesn't dissuade me from thinking this is Esper. Meticulous Archive. And I'm also going to play Baleful Strix here. Try and really work towards that next land drop. Ponder's pretty good at doing that. Misty Rainforest Go. It's a land drop. It's not blue for Narset. I think I'll attack first. Okay, they're unconcerned with Kaito. That didn't bait anything out. Thoughtseize is sure to bait something out, right? Or are they just gonna be there stonewalled? Surgical Extraction, Eternal Witness, Green Sun, Zenith, Swords to Plowshares. If they devoted the Rainforest and the Strand to green, they could cast Eternal Witness. I'm going to take Eternal Witness. It's the clearest 2-for-1 on display. And then yeah, I guess I'll just Thoughtseize again and take the Green Sun Zenith. Leaving them with not a huge amount of cool stuff, but that could always change. Like they just put a card on top. It could be cool. Yorion goes to hand. They've got one unknown. I'll cling Zenith. Make a land drop. I think I'll put Yorion in hand too. If I ever hit that second blue source, they might really want to send Swords to Plowshares at Baleful Strix. Lest Yorion gets to blink it. Ooh, Quantum Riddler. It'll just cantrip for now. That card is very positive from a card advantage standpoint. God damn it. Having some mana base woes here, which is something that I really did think about in such a big deck. Let's do this. Give them less stuff to surgically extract and all that. Okay, we're hitting the colored sources now. I'm going to play Narset, because I think it really screws with them. That resolved. Now what? I suppose I take Brainstorm. I already have a Lightning Bolt and a Toxic Deluge. So I think we can diversify a tad. What the hell is this? Solitude? It's almost backbreaking. Well, it is backbreaking if they can also address this Lightning Bolt, but they cannot. So thank goodness for that. Did they play an island at some point? Yeah. 2 unknowns. Seems like it should be more than 2. But no, it's 2. Seems like bank controls what's going on here. They'll extract Bolt, which is kind of rough. We like having access to that, especially with them all the way down at 13. Now they get to see exactly what's in my hand. And they see that Toxic Deluge is actually kind of good. But also, they went down a card to do that. But it's also making me think that they might have something that I'll want to Lightning Bolt. They get Ephemerate. Are they playing the Troc deck? My good friend Troc. Yeah. Narset is not curbing any card advantage here. They might even get like Veil of Summer. Orm's Chant. It's a nasty card. A very nasty card, I will say. Noble Hierarch. Alright, one unknown over there. And then they'll probably try and Orm's Chant me in my upkeep. Cast Brainstorm. I do have Nimble Obstructionist. That's at least something I can do. And then I guess I'm not activating Narset, because you don't want to bounce Spellseeker with Brazen Barber. That just doesn't make sense. Or I could just counter the rebound, I guess. But I think they'll be incentivized to hit Spellseeker, which would give it Summoning Sickness. I don't think I'm casting another Brainstorm. I think I want double blue up. I can just bounce whatever targets, or whichever one's left attacking, which would probably be Noble Hierarch. That's not a horrible thing to bounce. Sure. Kolaghan's command is even better. Send it back. I know their hand. We call that grinding. You discard. Unsurprisingly, it is Swords to Plowshares. I could also just... I guess the safest thing to do would be to counter Exalted, right? It's just really funny. But it is by far the safest thing to do. Another Cling. And yeah, they're just holding tight. They might have actually drawn Force of Will. Because I think they do want to get on board here. And how shields down is it for me to cast Yorion? I think it's mostly fine, honestly. And we'll flicker Narset. Get that loyalty back up. Turns on Brainstorm momentarily. But I'm also representing Bowmasters, so they might not want to do that. Another Swords. I guess if I spike Force of Will, that would be pretty good, right? Well, I think I'm priced into this right now anyways. Okay. They get my Yorion. And an extra point of damage. I guess I'll Toxic Deluge now. Well, hold on. Yeah, I'll take Force. Deluge for 1. Play Tamiyo. Play Ponder. Then Snap Cling, flip Tamiyo. Days Undoing. Feels like I've ground this out. They already are at like no cards, but I mean Quantum Riddler's over there too. Maybe it's not smart to show the Days Undoing combo. Force. Still got that Quantum Riddler. And if like the card in their hand is already not very good, does it even really make sense to cast Days Undoing? I mean, it'd give me a lot more cards, and I have like a lot of mana. So sure. Oh, hold on. Activate Tamiyo. Cast Days Undoing. Solid spread over here. Can waterlog Teachings for Force of Will in an emergency. Okay, cool, we ground that out. All the red blasts. Probably a few consigns, I would say. We definitely don't want to counter the warp trigger, but something along those lines. Blood Moon could be pretty good, I think. I'm at least one color they're not. I'm 2 colors they're not, but one of them is being red. Usually Blood Moon is pretty good against Bant. They're also playing cards with double green in the casting cost. So sure, I'll play Blood Moon, and I'll play Price of Progress. And we'll really limit Swords to Plowshares effectiveness, which this deck is already pretty good at. That just means going down on like Hull Breacher, Barragoyf, Brazen Borrower. I think I do need to retain Fatal Push though. I can trim a Cling, a land. It should probably be an Underground Sea. And then I kind of like the idea of Toxic Deluge against this deck as well. They showed us Noble Hierarch. It's possible 4 Pyroblast is too many, but Quantum Riddler is a pretty strong card. How about Lightning Bolt? Alright, so reveal Yorion. Weird hand. But I believe it's a keep. I can have Force of Will online by turn 3. And all the while I can prevent the effects of Ephemerate with Lightning Bolt. Cast Ponder. Yeah, these cards are all pretty darn good. I guess just in case I will need to force sooner rather than later, I'll put Teachings in hand. This is a pretty ideal matchup, I gotta say. If we're here to grind, I think this is where we want to be. What do they have for 2 mana? And they're ready for Blood Moon, I will say. Okay, Thunder Trap Trainer is pretty good. I'm prepared to see it miss, though, because they do run a lot of creatures. Does not miss. Green Sun Zenith. Alright, so Strix would have been ideal here. That's okay. I guess I'll do this just in case. But I do want to draw that Strix. I can't think of much that would make me want to, like, hands down, play these Bowmasters. Well, I guess if they play Noble Hierarch. If they try to Ephemerate, I'm ready with a Lightning Bolt. Yeah, this Price of Progress. Not looking too hot yet. Let's play Strix. I'm pretty interested in finding Brainstorm by now. I don't think Price of Progress is going to be that good. It's probably on their radar. Kairos pays attention. This trade is wholly acceptable. Ah. I believe if I force, they'd be worried enough about Red Blast that they won't force back. And it could have been that was total bait. But all the same, like Leovold would be rough. Hey, it's the card I wanted. Brainstorm. Didn't really find much good, I will say. In fact, I'm still going to hold on to this price. Alright, your turn. Don't think I can tap out for Yorion yet. Brainstorm. Can't Bowmasters that. It's too easy for them to just like swords. I'll lose out on a valuable removal spell. Spellseeker is a 1/1. And the non-basic count is growing. Have some lightning bolts here. It could turn out pretty good. I got Raucous Theater. Bend the Deluge. Tamiyo's nice. But not yet. Put Yorion in my hand. Try and stay even with them on cards. Alright. Staring down. Cast Ponder. Thoughtseize seems good. See if I can poke a hole in stuff here. Veil of Summer. Alright. They've scored some incremental advantage, but if they don't want to discard to hand size, they'll have to either make a land drop or do something. Do something it is. Oh, they made good use of that. Alright, play Tamiyo, and then I'll just hang out on this Brainstorm. See if I can Veil of Summer them back with that. Okay, good, good. Keep working on that life total. Not removing Tamiyo yet. Surely they do not mean to give me a clue. Surely not. Yeah. Not exactly the blowout we were hoping for. They get to stay pretty even. Go like that. Leave combat. Play Strix, draw another Strix. And then probably shuffle before I have to draw that Prismatic Vista. We're slowly grinding them out. I need more action than them. Definitely the goal is to not let them gain much life here. If they play Yorion after this, though, they're going to Ephemerate the Quantum Riddler. Okay, so there's no real reason to Yorion then. Well, unless they want to... Actually, it would actually be pretty good, wouldn't it? Force of Will, exiling Yorion, okay. Sure. And I should definitely Bolt Solitude. Gotta watch my own non-basic count and my life total. Thank God there was not an additional Ephemerate there. Okay, so price is good for 8 right now. It's not bad. Having flashbacks to that Pokemoki match. So I guess what I should do now is cast Yorion, Flicker Strix. Yorion and Quantum Riddler will bounce off each other. Unless they find a Noble Hierarch. Cling to Dust. Another good grinding tool. This rebound is painful though. We've yet to find a Red Blast. It's hard to imagine them ever getting to draw 2 off the Quantum Riddler replacement effect just because it seems like they'll always have a million cards in their hand. Keen-Eyed Curator's good. And they have so much darn mana that It's going to be really hard to bolt it. Playing that's almost dangerous. Play another Strix. Pyroblast is nice. Maybe I should have brought in Fatal Push, huh? Oh no, Fatal Push is a main board card, excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah, I don't think I can make the first move here. They have Ephemerate, Veil Summer, lots of unspeakable horrors. Working on my instance. If they go after one more, I think they'd have to diversify a little bit here, but they don't. I'm done playing chicken. Bolt. Yes, that's 3 types, and then cling for the final shot here. We shall hope this works. Ooh, another red blast. Yeah! Yeah! Awesome. Uh-oh. Targeting whom? Me? Alright. I feel like I can't make the first move. Like, what if they have Ephemerate? They have 1,000,000 mana. Like, they'll always just have Ephemerate from now on, I think. But how do I push damage? They're gonna win the long game. Okay. Land was not really what I was hoping for. It's cool, it's cool. Cast with Kicker. Sometimes you get the feeling like you're running out of cards. I think we definitely want Snapcaster Mage. And then, gee, I don't know. Ponder? Cast Ponder. Force seems pretty important. Toxic Deluge seems bad. I'm running out of time. Gotta end this. Okay, Red Blast on this double block. They'll force. I'll force. Fighting for board control here. It doesn't quite work. A beautiful 1-for-1 trade. I'm nowhere near closer on getting through this. I don't really understand how these decks win. Like, eventually, I guess all the 2-for-1s will add up. And now they are going to get to draw 2, which is wild. Land Grant. Now that is fascinating. Is that a smoothing agent? Tropical Island, so price is hitting for 10 now? It's close. Should have kept all my lightning bolts for personal use. Kaito is very good. Just gotta bust through this. Let's attack. It's a win-win. Alright. Go ahead and take that Strix back. Smash for a 3. Play Strix. Before I decide what I want to do. It's Force of Will. Okay. Double price will beat me as well, so... But I can't reveal it. I can't let them think about it, because I want them to play another land. So I guess we'll go top. That's so funny. Yeah, I will shoot for it next turn. Not that I really expect it to work. I feel like they have Veil Summer. Yep, Ephemerate. Play Bowmasters. I don't need to price this turn. Veil, sure. If that happens, I'll ping Kaito, I guess. Ping Bowmasters. They have a few cards. Swords my Strix. Hopefully no haste. Solitude. Please don't target. Okay, cool. Hierarch. It's a blocker. Yeah, they might just barely get over the line here. I mean, they did get a lot of cards. I could draw the game, I guess. That's everyone's dream. Love doing this. I'm behind on clock. You made me do it. You couldn't just let me win, huh? Of course they wouldn't let me win. It's the most idiotic thing I've ever heard. I'm up a game. I need to not time out. So I guess I'll just play like a frenzied, crazy person, which means no end step stop. I'm not that far behind on clock. The commentary is going to get pretty bad though. But I think I can win a game in 6:30. I just need to kind of play like a crazy person. Fluster's fine. It's not sudden death rules either, I should add, so... Well, there's no sudden death rules on MTGO. There's a chess clock. Veil of Summer. Oh, they missed a land drop. Okay. Bolt that. And pass. And then I think I just snap bolt. Ooh, unless they play a fetch land, then I probably stifle that. Sure. Bolt there. Cast Ponder. Make a land drop. Activate that. Cast Ponder. Shuffle. Alright. Can definitely stop them from winning. Bowmasters is good. Yeah, we'll just try and stop this game before it begins. Ooh, a bolt. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Should be a lot of pain and suffering in the Yorion mirror, I think. Ping moi. Force of Will's a nice draw. And now we just try and get over the line. I'll put Yorion in my hand. And hopefully they still stumble on mana here. Sure. Not worth fighting over. Once I hit another blue card, I can play Yorion. Green Sun for 1. Alright, Edict. Non-token. Cling. Doesn't matter what I exile. Cling again. I want a blue card. Oh my god. You know what? It's fine. I just want a beater. But if they swords Yorion, that would be sad. Very sad indeed. Solitude. No, no, no. Price of Progress. Good for 2 damage. And a whopping 8 to myself. So plus the bolt. We're almost there, I guess. Shouldn't have stifled that fetch land, it turns out. Yep. Brainstorm lock? On top of everything else? Oh, it's a basic land. True pain and suffering. True pain and suffering. Another fatal push. You'd love to see it. Alright, bolt. Gotta work towards that next cling. Ugh. What a crock of shit. Oh my god, how many basics do they have? And why is it so many? Yeah. They're at 4. If they play one more non-basic, maybe we can do it. Please work. Oh my god. You know what? I'm just gonna F6 until I draw Bowmasters. I did what I could to win this game. I was stopped. I should have fatal pushed. Wait, no, I couldn't. There's the fairy. Sure. I did everything in my power to win this game. It was not enough. Brainstorm. Shit. Put these back. Red Blast will need to be for Yorion. So cast this with Kicker, Bowmasters, Force of Will, Red Blast your Teferi, Force of Negation. Okay, sure. Cast Bowmasters. Wow. I'm speechless. Be back for round 3. Well, these games aren't easy, but I'm back at it, folks. With a pretty normal looking hand, actually. I'm on the draw, which, like, simultaneously makes Thoughtseize a little less effective because your opponent gets a turn, but also makes it feel a little bit better because you're up a card. So it kind of mollifies the tempo hit. Ancient Tomb, Grim Monolith, we might not get to do too. Oh, we do get to do much. That's really cool. I could see Hull Breacher being pretty good against a deck with the One Ring in it. So let's see what's going on. Karn or Mystic Forge? Ah, they're both pretty bad. I'm going to take Mystic Forge. And I guess Edict Karn after it makes a wish. That's not good. Don't forget about these Saga constructs. Karn could even wish for a Mystic Forge. That at least gives me a little bit of time to maybe plan a little bit. Coding. Well, that's not good. Wasn't expecting coding, but it is an angle these decks can take. Brainstorm. A lot of lands, which is nice, but now we're behind. Unless they want to make another wish with Karn. If they're content doing the Rashadan Port thing, we might get a turn here to break out of this. But if they want to blow up my lands, they can do that. They don't have Metalcraft. Looks like they do want to blow up my lands. I was really hoping they'd try to get Metalcraft on their main phase so I could use this mana. I'll just have to Surveil instead. Prismari Command? Yeah, I'll take that. Alright. So the next Karn's really gonna hurt, but we have something like parity with Karn here, as long as we can ignore the coding, which is not the easiest thing to do, to be honest. They're taking a lot of damage, but it doesn't matter all that much. They can get a key with Chapter 3 here. I doubt they'll have something like Lobster Boots, but that would really hurt. So they have a tower and one unknown. Hopefully just another land or something random. Another Karn would mess me up. So I can balance the board essentially right now. And I think that's wise. If I hit Force of Will, that'd be awesome. I think they have Kozilek's Command, which is Wrath. This card is so strong. 1 top, 3 bottom. It's a little bit of consolation, I guess. I hope it wasn't a Karn. Urza's Tower. So these workshops are tapping for 3 each. It's a lot of mana. Ah, Tezzeret. What's Tezzeret gonna get? Candelabra. Can they even use all that mana? Yeah, Candelabra. What are they gonna do with all that mana? I don't really want to know. Nothing yet. Alright, Fatal Push. And I guess if they don't get another artifact out, I can Prismari Command, Shatter Construct, Shock Tezzeret, and yeah, if I top deck Force of Will, like I keep saying, that would be sweet. No. Okay. I could also ignore Tezzeret, but it seems unwise. Like, the loot is tempting. But I just gotta try and stabilize. Tezzeret is a problem, eventually. Untapping the Monolith. Oh, they hit something. Oh, it's a Karn. Are they gonna blow up my lands? Why would they do that when they can just get a Mycosynth? Yeah, this was a funny game. We really needed Force of Will. But sometimes when you have a bunch of 3-drops in hand, it'll get gummed up a little bit. Take Progress, and then I guess Blood Moon. 4 Consigns. That's what you want to see. Baraglyph out. Dak Faden should theoretically be pretty good. Toxic Deluge, I think, can go as well. Fatal Push is not great. Cling to Dust is not great. I guess I'd rather have just like a Baraglyph over Cling to Dust. You know, impactful stuff. Then I'll leave in my combo. I wonder if Surgical becomes acceptable here. Just having points of interaction seems important. And there is some fluff in the deck, I must admit. I'll take one. Yes. I'll try and extract all their win cons, I guess. Unfortunately, Prismatic Vista cannot get a Surveil land, but that's okay. Planar Nexus, Voltaic Key, you got it. I don't fight over their mana, since it's so inevitable. Yeah, I guess I'll play that out. Because I really want a third land here. Close enough. Urza's Saga. Sure. Okay. That one I'm less sure about. I think I'll counter it. And then I guess if I extract Karns, is that good? It's kind of good. Pithing Needle. Please don't name Lorien Revealed. That would be absolutely sick and twisted. Polluted Delta. That's bordering on diabolical. Alright. Hit for Uno. Then yeah, we'll just extract Karn. Takes a lot of pressure points off the game. Now I just need to like fight Fleshraker, I guess. And Urza's Saga. I guess there's a lot of things to fight still, but we might figure it out. You never know. Maybe they'll have like 3 Karns in hand. I don't know. Are they really going to tap Saga? Do they not want to make a construct? I think I'll counter that. They're essentially tapped out. I mean, they could play... Yeah, they just have lands. I mean, 2 Urza's Sagas is terrible. I don't have Meltdown in this build, so... This is like all the stuff we have to beat, and it's right in front of us. Plus Fleshraker. Ugin is not really a win con, but it's good enough. I can't even bolt the construct, so it's a huge relief that they're not making a construct. How am I going to beat these things? Got 1 Baleful Strix. Narset will shut down the One Ring type stuff. There is Price of Progress, I suppose, to start. Okay, yeah, we'll just like, I guess, I don't even think Narset Days Undoing is that good. And I should have attacked. Like, I'll nuke their hand, but their board is massive. Maybe it will give me the resources I need to go off. Candelabra's also insane. They can make a lot of constructs doing that. Or one more. It's honestly probably enough. Land is nice. Activate Narset. Completely missed. That's cool. Cast Days Undoing. Did I leave in Fatal Push? I did not. Maybe that was a mistake. Okay, they caught that. I was hoping they wouldn't. Force a Will. And that's about it. No removal spells. I think we're probably done for. Yeah, we're just dead on board. I can only block one of these. That's some tough stuff. I'm not sure how I feel about the matchup without Meltdown and stuff like that. Had a bit of a break from this league because I was tied up with other stuff, but now we're back in that Yorion frame of mind. And these hands, it's really easy to feel lost when you look at something like this, because I don't really know if a mulligan is going to really make things a lot more clear. There's strong cards in it. If Consult the Star Charts is a way to like find more specific outs, and then Cling to Dust is pretty good against whatever mulligans to 4, I guess. Unless it's Oops All Spells, that goes like, if they have land, Dark Ritual, Undercity Informer, Spirit Guide, that would be bad. They're going to Chalice on 1. That actually doesn't hurt too much. Although it is sad to lose Cling to Dust's functionality. Also, if this was Kolaghan's command, I wouldn't have to worry about Blood Moon so much. Although in general, we're quite good against Blood Moon with all the Prismatic Vistas. If that's their follow-up, it's going to be pretty darn effective. Oh, Eldrazi Temple. They did not play Thought-Knot Seer. They do not have a Devourer of Destiny. I was wondering if they were going to go for Kozilek's command while I was tapped out. Ooh, yeah. Land 3 is good. If I can set up Narset Days Undoing, I'm already so up on cards compared to them, but I might as well do it a little more. I don't know. No Kozilek's Command. Cavern of Souls. This could be like Reality Smasher, and that would be kind of rough. Or Chalice on 2, possibly. Oh, that's so funny. Alright, I'm gonna cast Consult the Star Charts. And I guess take a Polluted Delta. I have legitimate concerns about just playing Narset. Yeah, you know, Days Undoing Narset doesn't really seem all that effective here. I think Shattering the Chalice on 2 might be a little more effective. Although Chalice on 2 counters Chalice on 1. Line Breaker is good. Yeah, I should hit the 1 on 1, I think. Wait, is that true? I think so. Because I want to deal with this Line Breaker as well. And then I'll just Dak Faden myself. Discard Thoughtseize and Snapcaster Mage. Alright. I guess I'll play Narset first. Even though I don't think it's going to change too much here. Activate. Miss entirely. Sure. Bolt the Line Breaker. Desperately wish I had a Force of Will, but it might not even do that much good against Cavern of Souls. Ancient Tomb pass. Okay. Dak Faden? That's pretty good. I think that's even better than Days Undoing, honestly. Play Dak. Get that last card gone. Use either Wasteland or Wastegate Battle Mage. Unclear. Activate Narset. I'll take another Cling, I guess? Or I bet I can remove this Chalice eventually. I haven't played a land yet either. Cast Ponder. Yeah, these are all good. A Hull Breach or Days Undoing is a lot more attractive to me than a Narset one. We'll keep working on their hand, I suppose. Brainstorm. Hit that land. Petty Theft is no good right now. Send it back. Shoot, maybe Beargoyf would be better, I don't know. There's Reality Smasher. That's pretty darn good. Let's see who they attack. Dak Faden it is. Yeah, sitting Beargoyf in the way of this seems like a lot better. I should have done that. It would have been a lot better. I'll play it now. And cycle Cling to Dust. Draw that dead. Or currently dead. Toxic Deluge, or yeah, you know what I mean. Play Beargoyf. Things get like super out of control. I can always Toxic Deluge. As long as I have enough life points that is. Oh crap. Did they rip Devourer? Damn, that's good. Oh dear. Attacking me. Should have played Beargoyf last turn. I really screwed up. And now I pretty much just need to Toxic Deluge for 6. It's not great. I can take one more look, but I'm not really sure what I'm looking for. Kolaghan's Command. Jeez, it's close. Or I could see if they block. Then I'd only have to pay 5 life. And they're at a very low life total, I'll say. Yeah, they'll take the block. Is this Fleshraker? I'm close to being done for, folks. And it's too dangerous to really deviate too much here. So we'll Edict. Hopefully dodge. Trying to dodge Reality Smasher and Line Breaker though. Seems a little Risky. Okay, Ayavugan. Oh boy. They can't activate it though. This seems like safe enough. I don't know. Gives me plenty of mana. I think I only get one treasure token though, because the rest are replacement effects. Oh, never mind. That was good. Thought Not Seer, which cannot be countered. Yes, that happens, but I have some responses, like Orcish Bowmasters. I'll throw in a Lightning Bolt, and I'll cast Brazen Barber. I'm already overrunning them, like, what if I just bounce Thought Not Seer instead? How does that go wrong? I don't think it does. Oh, sweet. Bolt. Funny game. Good thing they mulled to 4. Otherwise, I don't know how well that would have gone. Alright, Price, Blood Moon, Consign. I think my neighbor's drilling. Sorry if that's coming through. I don't think it should. I think my filtering is pretty solid in general, but if my... Okay, they just stopped. But if my voice sounded a little funny, it's because it's my voice plus a drill. Alright, Thoughtseize can go. 5 more cuts. How about a couple Narsets, Thoughtseize, and Cling to Dust? I think generally this version of the deck should have a little bit better of a time grinding against Eldrazi, but they also might just catch us off guard with aggro. Especially since they're playing so many haste threats. They'll keep 7 this time. Price of Progress, as always, a true banger, especially when they're going Ancient Tomb. But no Chalice on 1, which I'm not going to lie is a little disappointing. Bowmasters. Yeah, this should be all the chip we need. Planning on brainstorming here, potentially hiding a price. It's not necessary, it turns out. I wonder what they kept. They don't appear to have Devourer either. So yeah, we'll go ahead and brainstorm. Huh. No red source. So I guess Vista becomes our red source. That is interesting. Pass it back. I mean, I'd love to cast Baleful Strix, but I do think Bowmasters is better. Just getting that chip damage in is good. There's a Cavern Souls. I wonder if they'll play Reality Smasher here. Nope, just Flesh Raker, which is honestly pretty good, especially when they have Lotus Petal. Alright, we'll Edict before this gets too out of control. They get 1 spawn, no trigger, and they'll pass. Okay. I think it would be unwise to play Baragoyf out. It's likely Bowmaster's presence will make them at least a little bit... They'll want to cast Kozilek's Command at least a little bit, I think. Yeah, they're thinking about it. I think they have it. Playing super tight, though. They didn't even tap that Ancient Tomb. And they got blockers for days. So this is very unlike Vintage. I can't end step Bowmasters and play Time Twister, or Time Twister on my turn, since Days Undoing, ending the turn, will also remove all the Bowmaster triggers from the stack. You'll need a Teferi to do it on your opponent's turn to get the full package there. Prismari Command. I guess that kind of counts as a land drop. No block. I feel like not really, though. I should play Strix. Much better. That's a lot of Eldrazi temples. I feel like they're going to be able to do whatever they want pretty soon. Linebreaker, targeting that spawn token. Gets haste and +5. I don't think it's worth blocking that with Baleful Strix, but I'll lose the damage half of Brazen Barber if I do that, because they can remove its legal target. I don't think I can take 5 though. And I think the Brazen Barber chip is going to be super real. Alright, let's bounce Linebreaker here. Cling could like surprisingly keep me alive. And if I hit with Brazen Barber, they're at 14. Price is only dealing 10 damage. Only 10 damage. But yeah, I think Baraglyph is like very vulnerable. Let's see if they block. No, okay. So now if they tap Ancient Tomb, this just might work. Ooh, Wasteland. I hope they attack one of my lands. They do, okay. Make a black. No. Make a blue, yeah. If they want that line breaker trigger, they do have to do this pre-combat. Reality Smasher. Card's good. And they're doing just amazing not tapping that Ancient Tomb. Cast Brazen Borrower. Can hit for 12. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. Gain some life. It's pretty good. Ponder. What would I even ponder for? Like Brainstorm would be okay here, but I don't think Ponder is good enough. See if they block. No? Well, that should be game then, unless they can gain life. I should look for force backup. Consign backup is not the same thing. Nice. Well, not really the outcome I was expecting, but positive record locked. See if I can pull off a 4-1. All right, we're finishing this Yorion League. No turning back. Yeah. I guess the idea with this hand, if our opponent would cooperate, bolt everything out of the way and connect with Baraglyph, generate card advantage. Okay, okay. I have a feeling I know what this is. I think it's a Nadu deck. Which means it's unfortunately probably also a Swords to Plowshares deck. So we might have some trouble doing the Baraglyph thing. You know, I was really hoping they wouldn't have another land. But that would be really wishful thinking, I think. Alright, this needs to get an island. Try and get that Noble Hierarch. It works. Wasteland is quite a surprise. I say. See if I can trade with Teferi pretty evenly here. It works. I think playing Baraglyph is way less effective than like finding some interaction. I'll Thoughtseize. I mean, it is a Nadu deck, obviously, but you could be forgiven for thinking maybe it wasn't. I'm gonna take Swords. Plagon. We get a light punish. But not much. And I want to be able to... Well, I guess I could still Surveil. If they Wasteland me again, they have, like, no mana to work with, really. Yeah, I think we just keep the pain coming here. Hit with both. If they rip Nadu off the top, they can't cast Nadu and also... Well, now they can. Now they can also cast Endurance. I don't think that's stopping Baraglyph, though. 3-4... And it's a 4-5 off of their graveyard. Oh, that's pretty good. I think. It's kind of to be determined, actually. Let's attack with Baraglyph here. They're going to go for some trickery. Which must mean they're going after their own graveyard. Yeah, they did the math. And then they're going to target Plagon, or Endurance with Plagon. Is that the move? Nice. Play Tamiyo. I'll put Yorion in my hand. Maybe I should have attacked with everyone. They've got Daze and one unknown. Plagon's out here wrecking havoc. I think I'll just let that go. I can win a race, I think. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. Hmm. I'm saying a lot. You know, I'm kind of forgetting about all the 3 drops in this deck. Maybe in the face of that Daze, I should not have surveilled. It's possible that was loose. Hull Breacher would be nice. And yeah, they have no desire to block, which honestly makes sense. Brainstorm. It's risky, but they are facing considerable pressure. Nomads. Well, given that they could just slam Nadu and sadly probably run away with the game, I think I need to Deluge for 1 here. Because they probably held Daze, right? The crazy thing to do would be play Yorion, flicker Bowmasters, and dispatch Nomads. But if they had Dryad Arbor or something weird like that, that also would not work. But I really want to do that play. Trust me. But I don't think it is responsible. If they play a Nadu next turn, I'm convinced that they shuffled the Daze away. But it seems more likely that they still have the Daze in their hand. So my choice doesn't seem like totally insane. Consult the star chart's not a bad one. Yeah, I think their last card's definitely Daze. Alright, let's kick this. Take Bowmasters and Strix. Play Bowmasters. We were super ahead that whole game. We just kind of never let them catch up. It's not always going to be like that against that deck. I like Price of Progress and Blood Moon and Pyroblast. Maybe Surgical, although I feel like it's harder to enact that Extract Nadu plan when your deck just has more cards in it. Let's cut Cling to Dust, Thoughtseize. I don't think Dak Faden and Prismari Command are that useful here. Baragoyf is kind of actively bad into, you know, Source of Plowshares. Yeah, this actually looks pretty solid. As long as we don't get stuck with like a really awkward like triple Narset situation. We'll be super behind like they were last game if I keep this, I think. It's getting worse. Best hand yet. Brazen Borrower and Ponder go, and we'll just curve while ignoring Wasteland. Great draw. What the hey? They put a card on top. They Daze with a tap land. My Molda 5 is all of a sudden not feeling that bad. I feel like I have a lot of time to get back into this now. And I keep drawing 2-for-1s. I guess Bowmasters is really only a 2-for-1 if it's like Noble Hierarch or Nomads Encore, which are 2 pretty common cards in their deck. That was like the first underwhelming draw. It's honestly not that bad. It's going to be very tempting to try and play Kolaghan's Command, I think. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it. Raise Dead, Tameo, you discard. They'll Brainstorm. Force of Will. Yeah, we are catching back up here. Another tough draw. I feel like from here we just need an engine. Narset. You know, there's stuff we could draw. I think I learned my lesson last time. Not bad. I think I'll take Yorion. They might have been waiting for me to tap kind of low, so we'll see how punished I get. But if they start going off with Nadu, if they flip too many lands before they flip like a Force of Will, they've already used one. It could go pretty well for us. Well, there's Nadu, just sitting there. No backup, just more land. Alright, I mean, I'll make an attempt on Nadu here. They get a forest. That was a pleasant surprise, I must say. Doesn't seem like they really needed another land in either ways, so. But they also have another Nadu, so maybe we're not accomplishing all that much. 3 cards left over there. Can't really afford to miss more draw steps. Sure. I also want them to use these wastelands. Now I just need chip damage. Because if I can fire both Price of Progress, it should work. They can wasteland themselves. I'd really prefer they just wastelanded me. Okay, cool. So if they surveil in the end step, I think we'll just go for it. Damn. This is also acceptable if they don't produce a blocker. Oh, shoot. I mean, like I said, this could still go well for us, depending on how many lands they flip. Oh no, Force of Will. That's what I was talking about, that I didn't want them to flip. Backup Nadu. Delighted Halfling. Yeah, this is not going great so far. Okay, there's one. I need a few more here. Not to mention that Force of Will nullifies one of them. Tamiyo. Brainstorm. Probably don't want to cast that. Okay. You gonna get a non-basic? Nice. Tamiyo. Daze. Good to know. And they're done. Shaman Encore. How am I gonna do this? I don't think Consult the Star Charts is gonna help that much. Just gotta wait for my spot, I guess. Doesn't seem like a good idea. Or a good plan. It's kind of what I got. Gee, they have not flipped that many lands yet. They've flipped all spells. Okay, there's a basic. That does not help me. Can we get some non-basics up in here? There we go. Another Daze. That is actually really bad. Because now they can double Daze one of them and force the other one. Shoot. Wasteland. That doesn't really help my cause either. What a nutty game. Yeah. You know I love to lie in wait. Alright, here's some paltry beats. You know, maybe I can get them to force Consult the Star Charts. Problem is I can't kick it with my current mana. They can also force one of their, or swords one of their own creatures. Oh, that was bad. That's the other messed up thing about Nadu, is that, like, you can just kind of dare them to do something, but then if they don't, then you just pass priority and you don't get to cast a spell. It's pretty insane. I bet they'll interact with Hull Breacher. Alright, there's some more life to work with. This is only really a problem if they have, like, Craterhoof Behemoth. And even then... oh wait, no, I would definitely lose, but it would mean they'd have a lot of non-basics out, I think. We can have 6. Okay, here we go. This is what I needed. I needed their non-basics to come out and force a lot earlier. They just drew like 6? 7? They might deck. Both of the wastelands are tapped. So yeah, either of these prices are lethal. That's just kind of have to hope they don't get lethal this turn. And it would help a lot if I top decked Force of Will. I'm at 2. So that means this doesn't really work for me either. I can draw the game, I guess. No one likes doing that. So I guess the move would be activate Scalding Tarn, hold priority, cast Price of Progress, and then if that doesn't work, I'll have to go the unenviable option. Or, you know, it would be better if I just hit Force of Will on this Brainstorm. No luck. Well, okay. I didn't even hit a land, so now they can daze it. Tough stuff. Is it even worth trying? Should I just concede? Hide it for game 3? Alright, no surprises there. And, oh, did they clean up step their dazes? Maybe they did that. I don't know, man. No, they did not clean up step their dazes. Not bad for a mull to 5, huh? Let's see if we can keep 7 this time. It is such a mopey creature deck without Nadu. I wonder if Surgical even plays in this version of Grixis Control. I want to say no, but it's very tempting. Shoot. I think I learned my lesson last time. But the hands just don't ever feel that impressive. I honestly don't know how you Yorion players do it. I feel like it's a different state of mind. Which is the same conclusion I came to at the end of take 1 of this video. I was just like, hats off to Yorion players, but I don't know if I can do this. I need my outs accessible. Let's try and find something here. I'll play that. Classic little spell. Price of Progress is back. I have significantly more non-basics this time. Casting Nadu doesn't seem to really synergize with Wastelanding and Dazing, though. Like, 3 mana is a lot. Delver never really cast 3 mana spells. I think you'd have to go back to Oko to see something like that. Minsk and Boo was also kind of recently, but that was only out of the sideboard. Same with like Maddening Hex. Shoot. Yeah, it's disappointing, but what can you do? I want them to Swords this. They might think I have Kaito if I activate this fetch land. Yeah. Gotcha. Alright. Please work. Force of Will, pitching Force of Will. What's about to happen next turn? Nadu Nomads? Say it ain't so. Oh, sure. I suppose I can live with that. It's a right bit rude, but it's fine. Ooh. I'm just not dealing enough chip damage here. That's the real issue. That one's fine. Price is hitting for 6. It's not bad. I feel like I should just start flashing in these flying creatures and pecking. I'll just start pecking. Squawk, squawk, and all that. My boy, Nimble Obstructionist. Not getting swords on sight. Pyroblast is super nice. If I could get this Delighted Halfling out of here. Big caveat there. If I just bounce Delighted Halfling, are they going to waste time with this Shaman Encore already out? Or are they just going to throw the Nadu in? I don't know. There's not one on the stack yet. Shit. Oh, okay. It's okay. I'll take some beats here. That will probably get a basic land, but it's still a point of damage. I don't want them thinking about Price of Progress, though, so just send in the flying team. And they'll chump. Do they have Brainstorm? Oh, they're redirecting. I think they'll lose the Shaman, though, right? Oh, they only need to do it for 1 point, though. I mean, it costs mana. It's hard to be that upset. Oh, they don't want to take damage at all. Or I'm not really sure what just happened. But the beatdown was strong. I feel like if they hit Nadu, though, like, I don't think it would have went that well for me. But I mean, cool. I'm glad I did take 2, because this was a really interesting league. I feel like I'm still where I was at the end of the first league, though, which is I don't think I have the right mind for Yorion, but it was cool to see this similar. It was similar to a port of my version of Grixis control. Like we had Cling to Dust, Nimble Obstructionist, um, Kolaghan's Command, all that stuff, four lightning bolts. It's just bigger and more expansive and a little easier to get lost in. But the uniformity in the sideboard, I think, is very wise. If you have a bigger deck and you have matchups you're going after, you just want to have more possible hits for the cards you're using to address those matchups. And I guess that's about all I have for right now. I really appreciate IRS sending this in. This was a really fun challenge, a really fun way to think about Grixis in different ways. And I clearly have a lot of work to do when it comes to piloting Yorion decks. At least I didn't forget to put Yorion in my hand that often. I think it only happened maybe once or twice this league. It happens a lot more often in the earlier videos, I think. So cool. Check out the Patreon if you want to put your own donation list in. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll see y'all next time. Take care.